Good afternoon, everyone. These periods we are very busy, and probably I mix the presentation. So Indai kindly helps me to adjust the presentation. So I will, in the beginning, you will see that I will start with some information with the Federation of Informal Workers, and then focus more on home-based workers. So I will share my screen. Okay. Okay. In terms of the Federation of Informal Workers, the Federation of Informal Workers of Thailand, or FIT, we established in 2016 as a MBO organization. FIT comprised of five informal workers organization. The first one is HomeNet Thailand Association, which is focused more on home-based worker, and we have motorcycle taxi driver in Thailand Association. We have network of domestic worker in Thailand, and credit union cooperative of Lam Thong market traders. We have network of street vendor for settlement developments. FIT cover more than 20,000 informal workers. Is about 50% of females, 50-50, and they are located in the north, south, northeast, and central part of Thailand and Bangkok. In terms of the Federation of Thailand, in terms of the membership-based organization, as a membership-based organization, it means that with ownership, these are the principles that we follow is in terms of membership, that the member have to pay membership fee and registration fee and annual fee. And we follow the participation concept. Like we have a regular meeting, regular activity, and we have two-way communication. Member benefit, we focus on member benefit in terms of income and legal and social protection. We have democratic organization. We have organizational structure. We have election, and the ECHO have that term. And the last one is very important, that we are dependent from politics. In terms of our objective, we promote social justice, reduce social inequality, we support livelihood development and economic empowerment of informal workers. We advocate for legal and social protection for informal workers, raise social awareness and recognition that informal workers are economic agents in developing socio-economic of the countries. Activity that we are working is we mobilize and organize informal workers as membership-based organization. We promote community and social enterprise. We promote clean products, promote saving activity, and promote and support access to health services and occupational health safety and working environment, or OHS. We advocate for legal and social protection, like for instance, Home Worker Protection Act, Social Security for informal workers, and ministerial regulation to protect the rights of domestic workers. We also promote linking of economic activity between subsectors like home-based worker and motorcycle taxi drivers, street vendor, and domestic worker. And we advocate for gender equalities and stop gender-based violence. In terms of SSE dimension, you can see that we follow that the 5 dimensions of SSE, like socially responsible governance, identifying ethical value, so socio-economic benefit of the communities, ecological conservation. We produce green product, and then also try to stop using foam or plastic. And the last one is in terms of economic sustainability. In terms of SDG, our activity are linked with these goals, like more than 5 goals. Like the first one is no poverty, goal 1 on no poverty, goal 3 good health and well-being, goal 5 on gender equality, goal 8 on decent work, goal 10 on reducing inequalities, goal 11 on sustainable city and communities, goal 12 on responsible consumption and production. In terms of the COVID-19 pandemic, I can say that in terms of experience with disaster, Thai people had experience with tsunami in 2004 and severe flooding in 2011. Even in Bangkok, we affect with this flooding. In terms of at that time, what we addressed to the disaster, at that time we deliver food and try to set up like community kitchen during the flooding period. In terms of the implication for disaster and resilience of home-based worker, there are some questions that whether is there a need for enhanced disaster resilience of home-based worker in our country. We can say that we still need to be prepared, both individual and as an organizational level, because in terms of knowledge on the issue, like this time is COVID-19, is coronavirus issue. So we need to understand more, because in terms of natural disaster and disease pandemics, they are different. So we need to know more in terms of how to deal with this. And in terms, we found out that in terms of saving and food security is very important for us, and how to where and how to seek support. And the other one is very important. We need to learn more in terms of communication during crisis, because we are far from each other, how to manage the communication during crisis. And at the same time, in terms of collective response as an organization for enhancing the disaster resilience, because if we are one by one and separate in different areas, no one will hear the voice, our voice. So in terms of collective response as an organization is very important. This is what we have to learn, and we have to like discuss more in our countries. At this time, we also adopt what we have learned from the last disaster, the last flooding in 2011. So when the government locked down Bangkok and other cities, we know that we need to help our members, especially in terms of food. So we try to ask for donation, and we try to set up like community kitchen, and we try to prepare the food and relief package to our members.
Ano? Nakita ko na. Nalidag ako na lang.
And we also try to spend money. With this donation, we try to spend the money with our members and our network members, like from home-based worker, group, street vendor, or farmer, or other informal worker. We we buy some vegetable from farmer to give to home-based worker in Bangkok. or we buy some food from home-based workers who do food processing and street vendor like this to share with others, because we also like health, we get a double profit at the same time. This is what the photo that we share our food package. sorry. And the other thing is very important, as I said, that in terms of the corrective response from as an organization, we do a lot of advocacy works with government agencies for COVID-19 response policy. Like in the big, firstly, we propose remedial measure for informal economy worker to lessen impact of the COVID-19 with the National Committee on Informal Worker Administration. This committee is under Ministry of Labor. At the same time, we share the situation of informal worker during lockdown period and propose for economic recovery policy with the Bank of Thailand. We also dialogue with Prime Minister Office and Office of National Economic and Social Development Council in order to get opportunity for CSO to submit project proposal and get support from government economic recovery program. Also help member to access to government cash grant. As you know that the Thai government provide cash grant for 3 months for informal workers. So, but as an informal workers, some of us have no knowledge or have no smartphone. We need to help them because it's only register online. So we need to support our members on over the country, even in the north, in the northeast, in the central, and in the south. Help them to access to the government cash grants. And at the same time, because we have experienced that to use policy dialogue to propose in terms of the resolution in the local authority, with local authority. So we facilitate policy dialogue at local level. Like in this photo, in this picture, you can see that home-based worker and street vendor club dialogue with the municipality office on safety measure before reopen Chiang Rai city after COVID-19 pandemic. This is in Chiang Rai, and we also have this with the beautician member in Nakhon Pathom. They also negotiate, or they also develop the like a safety measures to protect they and their customer. And at the same time, we also do research and survey with the research institutes on the impact of COVID-19. You can see that there are 3 main findings, like on of our members job loss and their income reducing. And about 2% of urban informal workers go back to rural area. We have only 3 months ability to handle. They have only 3 months ability to handle with the crisis. You can see from the pattern, the graph, that all of them lost their income. In terms of home-based worker, it's about 80% of them lost their income. And you can see that transport workers they still work during lockdown period. So they lost only 63% of them lost their income. But massage worker, casual workers, beautician, and home-based worker and street vendor is more than 80%. They lost their income. So in terms of our plan, in the next period, we are planning, now we already do it, is providing loan for members who are really need this loan, because we got support from some organization, and we use it as we spend it as a revolving fund or loan for our member who really need, because some of them have to put their equipment, livelihood equipment, the tools, some equipment and tool in the pawn shops, and they have to get it back, or they want to invest in some small business. So we give this as a loan for them. We also plan to train on financial management because to promote saving, because we found out that if they have a saving, so they can handle the crisis more than 3 months. So it's really important that they have to prepare in advance by do more saving. And in terms of food security, especially in a city, it's very important that we need to train on city farming to increase the food security, because many of us, I can say that many of us move to work in Bangkok and we have no knowledge on to do farming. So we need to train them on do city farming. And we have to train, as I mentioned before, we prepare to train them on how to cope with disaster. And within this lockdown experience, so we found out that digital technology is very important, and we are planning to train them in terms of digital literacy and in terms of technique like online internet banking or online marketing. Main activity that we are planning is in terms of support economic recovery activities, like creating linking platform between home-based worker and other subsector of informal worker to increase sale and create online marketplace, like Olive said before, that Olive is going to launch in October, but for our team, we are going to launch it in November, so we can, after this, we can learn from each other how to manage the marketplace. That's all